Hi there, it's Kathleen here again and thank you for joining me. Today I have a layout for you that I made with the new Pinkfresh Studio Simple and Sweet collection. And here you can see some of the papers, it's not all of them, but these are a few that I picked or I thought I might use on my layout. And you just saw that I covered my white cardstock with some clear gesso because I knew I wanted to have some watercolor in the background. And yeah, I prepared my page with that. I don't like white gesso because it always has a kind of yellowy tint to it when it dries, and I really hate that, so that's why I use clear gesso, even though it's a bit pretty. So I'm pulling out some Shimmerz paints from my stash, and the colors I'm pulling out here are Creameez, my Clementine, it's the peachy one. The yellow one is Inklingz, Meet Me at Sunset. Then I have the blue one is a Creameez called Ride the Tide, but I'm not going to use that one. Then this light pink one is a Creameez called Cheeky Pink, and the golden one is an Inklingz called Minor 49er, which is a really pretty light gold color. So I'm just using the packaging technique, spreading some of the color on some packaging and then pushing it onto my paper to have this kind of watercolor effect, and I'm also splattering around some of the color. And in a second I will go in with another color. So I first finally decide on what photo I want to use. It's this one of some bougainvillea leaves or twines, and I'm missing this bright pink color, so I'm pulling in a Creameez called Berry Hot, I think. Yeah, and I'm also splattering this around. So these colors, the Creameez and the Inklingz by Shimmerz, they come in these little pots and they are hard, so you have to spray them with water and let them sit for a bit until they become liquid. And I'm putting on some more color and then just, I want to have this move around on my page a little bit to get even more like the watercolor effect. And I'm definitely not an expert at this. I'm still trying and figuring all of this out because I really love the look of it and I love watching process videos of people do mixed media type layouts like my friend Jana or Missy Whidden, for example. And I always love the backgrounds they create, but I'm still practicing, but I refuse to give up because I love the look of it and I have these colors, so I really want to use them. So yeah, I think the background is mostly done now, and now I will arrange my paper cluster or my embellishment cluster, and these are some dies that you just saw. They are Pinkfresh Studio floral squares, and you can see that I already die cut all of them from some white cardstock. So this is that little frame that I just put to the left of my photo was made with one of those dies. And now I'm just arranging my embellishment cluster, and I don't want to use any pattern paper because I want to have this really light and airy look that would fit the photo with this really bright white wall and the pink flowers. So I'm just pulling in some ephemera pieces and chipboard stickers and arranging them on my layout. And I also want to stick to these three colors that I have here. So this pink, the peach and the yellow, and also some gold, but I don't want to use any of the blue or mint except for the leaf, but it's not that big. So now I'm thinking that the layout feels a bit empty, but as I said, I don't want to put any pattern paper on the layout, so I'm thinking about adding a frame to my layout. And so I'm trying different papers here, and I want to, as I said, stick to my three colors. And I'm going to use two papers actually, because I felt that just one didn't really fit. So with the pink, the layout became too pink, and with the yellow, it became too yellow. So I'm going to use these two. So I just cut down my white cardstock, I don't know, about 1/2 inch probably. I'm just eyeballing it. And then trimming down these two pattern papers, or a strip from these two pattern papers that I can then add as my frame. And you just saw me taking a photo of my layout because I really like the way I had arranged my embellishment cluster, so I wanted to make sure that I will be able to put it back as I had it before. And whenever I'm not sure where or what to do with my layout and it feels a bit unfinished, I always like to add some pattern paper either as a frame or sticking out from behind the layout, like I did in my process video yesterday, for example. So this is a nice trick to get some color and pattern on your layout without adding too much of it and without, you know, changing the whole look of your page. And I also make sure not to add too much of the double-sided adhesive, so I leave some spaces open because I want to be able to ruffle up my white cardstock and kind of tear it a little bit. And if I have double-sided adhesive all the way around, then this wouldn't work, what I'm just doing here. So now I'm putting everything back on my layout and also looking for more pieces that I can add to this embellishment cluster, because the way it is now is a bit too empty for me. So I'm trying a few more pieces, adding this little label that says Lazy Days and Sun Rays to the top of the layout, because this adds a touch of that peach color to the frame. And I also have these cute little ephemera flowers, so of course I have to add a few of those. And for my title I thought, when I saw this Sunkissed gold foiled ephemera piece, I thought I would use this one and make it Sunkissed Paradise. So I would use one set of the puffy stickers, the puffy alpha stickers, for the paradise part. And I really like when this happens, you know, when you have a ready-made title in one of the embellishment packs, be it ephemera or stickers or whatever. I really like to use those because then I don't have to come up with any clever title, or at least, you know, for part of the title. So now I found this paper here, which I really love. It has all of these, I don't know, like tickets or tags or whatever. So I'm cutting two out that would fit the color scheme, and a little trick that you can use to get these kind of holes on the sides. Just use a hole punch, a really small one. I think I'm using a 1 1/4 inch punch to punch these little holes and make them really look like tickets. So I'm putting this pink one here. I will move it off the layout later, but for now it will stay. And I'm adding liquid glue to the chipboard pieces. They are sticky, but because I added the clear gesso to my white cardstock, nothing really wants to stick to that because it's really gritty, and yeah, things have a hard time sticking to that stuff. So I'm adding liquid glue just to make sure. And I'm using some foam tape to add my photo, actually 2 layers of foam tape because the chipboard pieces are quite dimensional and thick. So I want my photo to be even higher than those pieces. And then, you know, just putting in some more pieces like this puffy sticker flower on the left of the cluster, or the gold foiled heart. I really love the gold foiled stickers because you have lots of different shapes in there, like leaves and twigs, some words, and also lots of gold puffy hearts. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite embellishment packages from the whole collection. Oh, and by the way, the paper I just used with all of these tickets, I'm using even more of them on another layout that I'm sharing on my blog and the Pinkfresh Studio blog today, together with this layout that I am working on right here. So hop on over to my blog or the Pinkfresh Studio blog for the other layout, and also more photos and details and all of the supplies that I used for on my blog. So I'm leaving a link to mine and the Pinkfresh Studio blog in the description box below. So yeah, I didn't do anything spectacular right now, just adding more pieces like enamel dots. I'm really having a hard time placing those. I always overthink the placement of these little things. I don't know, maybe you have some tips for me. what to do, how to do it, so that they are kind of placed, I don't know, organically, like they just fell on my page, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and I also added some more gold paint splatters because, you know, never enough gold, and also because I added more of the gold embellishments, so I felt that I needed some more in my background. And I will add, yeah, just here, I will add some gold color shine because it's a bit brighter and shinier than the Miner 49er by Shimmerz. So off camera I will add some stitching and my date stamp in gold ink. But that's the layout so far, and here are some close-ups. So thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and be sure to hop on over to my blog for more information. Hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye!